My name is Hugh Owings, and I own Hugh's HandBuilt. We're based out of Asheville, North Carolina. So we're going to look at your list here and a little bit about our shop and business. Well, we are a specialty shop. We focus on the vintage Yamaha XS650 platform. It's a bike that I fell in love with before I was even into motorcycles. The shape, the form, the appearance of the motorcycle, the affordability of the bike. So it's something that I fell in love with and eventually built an entire business on that one platform. So yeah, we have a niche market. We supply parts, we develop parts, we manufacture parts for those bikes. And we try to approach it in a manner to where, hey, we don't want to build the bike for you. We want you to build your own. So we encourage people. We do tech articles and write-ups and stuff to where people can kind of come to themselves and build their own bike the way they want to build it with our inspiration, our motivation, and our tech articles, and a little bit of our parts. So that's kind of how we do here. My background in the industry, Hugh's HandBuilt has existed for about 3 years. Started out in my 300 square foot basement. Shortly after graduating from college, no jobs on the market, decided, hey, I'd built a bike in college and it was pretty well received, and there was no market for that bike, so we kind of created a market. Took my last paycheck from working at a factory and had some parts made. Sat in my basement, machined them, tapped them, finished them, and put them on the market. And here we are 3 years later. We have a whole product line and services that we do. We've got an awesome customer base, and we really inspire people, and we're inspired as well from our customers. It's definitely a two-way street, and so we kind of are motivated to keep pushing hard so that our customers have more from us. Skills, specialty skills. Well, we are a custom shop. We are not a catalog ordering shop. We're not a drive down to Walmart and pick out our outfit kind of shop. We have to build it. There's not a lot of stuff available, even though the market has grown since we've jumped into it. If you look around, we build our frames from scratch. We build them from tubing we pick up at the steel supply. We lace our own wheels. We have to build our own motors because you can't buy them new. We can't go down to S&S and order a brand new motor. We are the people. If you wanted a new motor, we're the guy that supplies you a refurbished vintage motor with some modern attitude. So we become the go-to guys for this platform. Like I said, I'm not one to be really cocky or conceited, but we've nailed it. We have a market that just has taken off, and people, they know our work. They search for our work. We have sent our work all over the world, places I don't even know how to spell. We've sent regularly. We send stuff to the UK, Australia, Brunei. To me, it's awesome because we're in this little 2,100 square foot shop, and we're doing big things worldwide. And we get featured in magazines. We've this year alone, we were featured in Cycle Source magazine, the Horse magazine. The Horse being the #1 selling chopper magazine on the market. Cycle Source probably second or third. Low Side Syndicate magazine, which is like a really nice coffee table style magazine. They do kind of builder features and stuff. We've been featured on blogs and websites. Frank Bott Photography has shot all of our bikes and published them worldwide. We try to stay humble, but it's kind of awesome how things are going. People like our work, and we try to keep going with that and make sure that when we do something that it's inspiring. It's not what somebody else has done. We're not a copycat. People copy us, and that sounds like something that most people get mad about. Oh, they stole my style or whatever. Man, I love it when somebody tries to do what we've done. That means they did it themselves. They've got some passion for it. They've kind of come into their own, So that's the goal here, is get more people into motorcycles, because they don't have to be expensive. You don't have to write a giant check or swipe your credit card for them. You can buy a few parts here and there and do your own thing. So see what else you want from us here. Tell us about your team. Well, the very first person I hired was Tevin Morgan, and I was working out of my basement, 300 square foot. This young man's grandfather came down and asked me if I'd hire him. Well, kid's 17, pretty dopey, and didn't know how it was going to go, so hired him to sweep the floors. At this point, you know, that kid worked his ass off, you know, and became the kind of person that you want around. So at this point, I would fire myself before I get rid of Tevin. Tevin is my number one. He's family. He's a hardworking young man, and literally like the American success dream. Like you hear grandparents talk about how they swept the floor in a factory and then became a shop foreman. Well, Tevin's well on his way to that, and we don't see that a lot from young members of his age group anymore. So he impresses me. My other guy is Brian Pulliam. Brian is the wart on my ass. He would not go away. Apparently he had tried to get in the door at like every shop in the region, and either they weren't hiring or they weren't doing custom work per se that he was trying to find, and he came to my door and I couldn't get rid of him. Just kept sending him away. Well, he's here now, so kind of stuck with him. But great guy, works hard, and you know, you speak about employees and business. This is more of a family kind of thing. I wouldn't have anybody in my shop that I wouldn't have at my home, and I treat it that way. We're not open to the public. We don't let strangers wander in here because this is our life, you know. So to break that barrier, to break that seal down, and get into the fold is something that impresses me from these particular individuals. Our newest employee is Tara. She is a pretty nice young lady. She is a hard worker. She's put in her time in the fast food restaurants like a lot of other young folks. I don't even know her age. She's probably 19 or so. And, you know, she worked late nights, worked oddball shifts, and proved herself. So we had an opening here to help with shipping and stuff and supplying, and she was the person who came in, and we're really glad to have her. Again, known her for about a year, and she's the kind of gal that you want to have around. She's kind of a go-getter, pretty shy. She just smells so way better than Brian. So we kind of like that too, because it's like Tara smells really good, and then my dog, kind of stinky dog, and then like Brian down here, and then Tevin's kind of over here. Sometimes he puts on some, anyway. So yeah, it's a nice change to have like a lady in the shop. Rivalries in the area, we don't have a lot. I hate to be that guy, but you know, we don't build out of a catalog. We don't order parts and polish them up and peel the blue label off of them, the blue film, because they're brand new. You know, like we take old parts and refurbish them. We build stuff. We put it together. There's some great builders in the area, but they're more like assemblers. You know, like they can order stuff out of a catalog and put it together. So we do it all. I don't know anybody in the area that builds their own frames. I don't know anybody in the area that takes a bike from a concept on a napkin to a final thing and gets it shot for magazines and all that kind of stuff. That's not to say there's not some good people in the area, but they just don't do the level of work we do. We have some competition nationwide and worldwide, but around our area, man, we're pretty much it. So motivation for winning. You know, this TV opportunity is pretty interesting. We've been approached before and kind of turned it down because, like I said, coming into our fold is something that we're different about. We don't beg and plead for people to come to our shop. We're just like, you know, we want to work and do our thing and have fun. But for me, we want to show people they can build a Japanese motorcycle, a vintage motorcycle that turns heads, you know, gets people focused on it and doesn't have to have a big check on it. So you don't have to have a $20,000, $30,000, $80,000 bike. We love it when we get feedback. Somebody went to bike night on their $3,000 bike and everybody there just couldn't quit drooling over it or talking over it or even getting a little hate on it, which is, to me, like if somebody takes the time to hate it, well, they passed up 3 other bikes to come over here and be mad at that one. So, you know, no heads turned away really. So we kind of like that. And so for us to win this thing or take it to the top would be to put our customers first and put our fan base first and let people know that, hey, you know, this little tiny shop with some good dudes in it is doing some cool work that they can do too. And, you know, because we don't see a lot of people doing their own thing out there. And we want to encourage that. And I think if we took this thing to the top and won, it would just prove to people, hey, you don't have to have $1 million to build a bike. You don't have to have all the skills and tools. I mean, we do a lot of stuff here, but most of our equipment's vintage, it's old, it's tired, and that means our brains have to be sharp and fresh and ready to rock and make stuff happen. So I think that just about wraps it up. We're not going to order parts out of a catalog if we can help it. We're gonna show America how to build a bike on a budget, on a like a kind of a garage level, you know. And hopefully we inspire a few of you folks to want to get in the garage if you've never done it and do it yourself. So that's the Hughes HandBuilt motto. And we want to sell you some parts to do it, but we want you to do it yourself. So thanks for considering us, and we'll give you a tour of the shop here in a few. Sorry. And thanks again.